Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of my very favorite Turk from Final Fantasy VII, Tseng. He's finally showed up. He came today with Elena and Zach. I now officially have all of the main line figures released from Bring Arts for this wave of figures, and I'll be reviewing Elena and Zach soon. But man, I got these three from Mecca, Japan. I've never ordered from Mecca before, but this gives you a little card, and as you can see here, it says, "Your order's here. Bring on the sunshine." So kind of cool. And here's a look at Tseng. I've reviewed all these Bring Arts figures to date, so if you've watched my reviews, the box, the packaging is very similar. The white background, the gray ribbon here, and we have a picture of the figure. And this is based off the Numera art from '97, from the original game. So this isn't based off the remake or rebirth. So this is the pose he was in the Numera art, which we will strike, and that's probably how I'm gonna pose him, just like Numera drew him. But he is number 13 in the line. After him comes the Heart of Daytona with Cloud, and then 15 is the Heart of Daytona, and that completes the set through 18. They did release now a 19th figure, Cloud with the Heart Edge, which is coming out September. So that's I think a Japan exclusive. Anyway, let's get back to Tseng, director of the Turks, Rufus Shinra's right-hand man. He looks fantastic with the arms behind the back. Here's the Final Fantasy VII logo, Bring Arts, Tseng, number 13. Of course, this is for ages 15 and up with a choking hazard, so small parts, warning, not for children under 3 years of age. And on the bottom, you have the Bring Arts logo or the Square Enix logo. As you can see here, it also says, I never bring this out, but it does say character design, Tetsuya Nomura. So that's kind of cool. And they give the logo illustration also to Amano as well. But here's the side of the box. It's very simplistic packaging, but it gets the job done. And then here is the back. I'll be able to do this pose once I get Elena out and review her. But here's some pose of the Tseng. He's a cool cat, very calculating. So not a lot of action poses with Tseng. And this is not based off of the new games. I don't think he comes with a pistol, which is fine. I'm going to have his arms behind his back. As you can see, there's an option there. And I think you can put his hand in his pocket like you can for the other Turks as well. But boy, here's some legalese, UPC. Let's get this guy unboxed and take a closer look. All right, and Tseng comes with directions just like all these Bring Arts figures. You can see this piece pulls apart to eventually put his hand in his pocket, and we'll do that. He comes with a bunch of hands. It's 9 hands. I think the most hands any Bring Arts figure has gotten to date. And then you can pull his arms off, and you can put his hands behind his back. I think it's so cool they do that, because I don't think you can strike the pose the way the articulation is without that. And then he comes with a cell phone, so that's pretty sweet. Maybe call him back to home base to Rufus to update him. Here's the stand. We'll look at that real quick. I didn't take out the packaging. All these stands with these Bring Art figures are exactly the same. You get a clear base with a bunch of different holes to put the posing arm in. You get 2 different size clamps. And so that's it. I won't be using the stands. I will be having my figures without them. So here is Tseng. If I zoom in, you see Tseng and everything he comes with. Now, if you've played the new games, Rebirth and Remake, you might be wondering why the suit is so blue, because in Remake and Rebirth, their suits are basically black for the most part. But the way they were in the original game, they were more of a blue. And as you can see here, there's a lot of black highlights on this figure. So Numera kind of did that with the lighting for the pictures he drew for the Turks, and they all kind of have this blue suit. I always liked Tseng. He always, I don't know why, reminded me of James Bond for some reason. Not by look, but just by demeanor. Very cool, very suave. Doesn't panic. Super cool. Now, I will say this. I've never finished Crisis Core. I've played a lot of it, never completed it. I didn't play before Crisis, and I know a lot of his story from younger years is in those games. I've, of course, played FF7 and, of course, both Remake and Rebirth. So I can speak to Tseng on that level. And all I can say is I like Tseng a lot. I probably should play Before Crisis somehow. I'm not sure I can play that nowadays, but I'd like to play it. But regardless, here's a look at the figure. Got his long hair, and it is kind of broken up, which is kind of cool. So it's not just one piece of plastic. I like how they did that. And let's just go over articulate. Let's take a look at the figure first. Let's look at him closely. I think it looks very reminiscent of the Numera artwork. He's got his black blue coat on. He's got the black tie with the white shirt. I don't see the earring though. I don't see the earring in his ear. Maybe only the Rebirth version had the earring. I can't remember. But here's his suit, and all the Turks have the same type of suit. He's got the glove with the open backhands there. His fingers are covered though with these gloves. And they did a different change between like Rude and Reno. They have a cut joint here, not at the boot, but at the pant line, which is kind of odd. I'm not sure why they just do it at the boot like they did for Reno and Rude. This is definitely different. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just not sure why they changed it up with this figure. Let's go over articulation real quick. Head's on a ball joint. You can pull this off and you can kind of see how that looks. The neck does move a bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. There's a ball joint at the base of the neck, so he can look down pretty good. Looking up with the hair, because it's rubbery plastic, he can look up somewhat. And then the arms are very similar to the rest of these. Go 90. There are spacer pieces here, like the other Turks have. And he does have a bicep swivel, which is up very high. And then he has double jointed elbows. When I say double jointed, it's this weird little ball thing that Square Enix uses. But it gets that much articulation. Ball hinge, wrist pegs. There is a torso, a ball joint torso, but because of the suit, you really can't get much out of it. He can bend forward about that much and bend back. Actually, not too bad. Better than the other Turks. And then he has thigh cut at both thighs. Legs can go 90. Double jointed knees with a kneecap that can pop off. If it pops off, don't freak out. Just pop it back in place. It's annoying, but it's not like it's broken. And then he has the articulation here, not at the boots, but at the pants. And then he has toe articulation in both toes. So that's pretty much articulation for Tseng. Let's see if we can get his hands behind his back without using those pieces. I think we can. And while it might not look as nice because you have this gap, even with the spacer piece, I can bring it down some. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Honestly, that's not too bad without using these arm pieces. But as you can see, these arm pieces are gonna fold much better. I can't really get his. I guess I can. I mean, I guess they didn't have to give you this. I'm not complaining though, because these Bring Arts are light in accessories for the price point. So anything extra they give, I'm happy about. So let's look at some other pieces here. Here's the arms, and they are connected together. They don't come apart. You can see his hands are wrapped around. The fingers are wrapped around the hands. Pretty cool. And then this is a rubbery piece that replaces the back of his coat here. It pulls out. You put this in, and it gives you a hole there. And you plug take his hand out and plug that into right there. It's kind of hard to see with my lighting, but right there. We'll do it. We'll do it. And then here's the flip phone. I love that it's a flip phone. I wonder if it plays FF Victory music. So we'll get him with his hand. Boy, I'm not really getting it good. Screen's just silver, nothing on it. There's the back of it. We'll use one of his hands. I think this hand here holds the cell phone. Let's just do that right now. Look at that. That hand there holds the cell phone. If I zoom in, you can kind of look at that better. Boy, that's like an old, what is that? Old Nokia type phone? 1997 cell phone. So here's the hands. He has two fists. Surprisingly, his fists don't come on his body in the package. And then he has some grasping hands. I think this one could also hold the cell phone. Let's see. We got a couple cell phone holding hands. Yeah, that one can hold the cell phone too. So no weapons to speak of. I think in the original game, if I remember correctly, FF7, you don't actually fight Tseng ever. No spoilers, but in Rebirth, you do get to fight him. I won't go into more detail than that. But I always liked him. He's a bad guy, but he has a sense of morality. Like he always cared for Aerith and kind of watched over her, never wanted to harm her, respected her. He has like a sense of respect and honor, even though he's bad and does bad things and follows bad guys. He's a loyal Turk, but he's got a sense of honor, and I like that about him. Look at that devious face, man. He looks really devious. Now, they do have a cut here, which is unfortunate. I don't like the way it looks too much, and the hairline, almost like this hair could come off, but probably what it is this is hard plastic, and this is the softer plastic, where they molded it together. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the hand in the pocket now. I'll try and show you how to do this. All you do is you unplug this. It's a plug-in system. You plug in this one, and the other Turks are very similar. Rufus is like this as well, somewhat. The problem is I have a hard time plugging this bottom part in sometimes. It's a soft rubbery plastic. You take the hand off, and then you're supposed to be able to put this ball joint. You have to sometimes turn it. You put that right into the peg right here. And it's as if he's got his hand in his pocket. You know, they didn't have to do stuff like this. I understand these figures don't come with much accessories for the price, but it's cool they give you this. Now, I won't display him like this because this isn't how Numera drew him. But as you can see, giving you this piece, that's the illusion that his hand is in his pocket. And it makes these Turks look, you know, really cool. If I get his cell phone in his hand, and honestly, quite a few of these hands can hold the cell phone. Let's try one real quick. Doing this on camera, I don't usually do that. But you guys kind of see how it is in real life. Sometimes these hands are hard to plug in. This wrist joint over here is kind of loose on my figure. So we get this cell phone in his hand. Maybe this wasn't the best one for the cell phone, but that's fine. Make it look like he's FaceTiming Rufus. That's actually a pretty cool pose. Make him like he's looking down. They didn't have FaceTime in 1997, but you get the picture here, right? That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Now let's do the ultimate. Let's do the hands behind the back. So we're going to put this, I'm going to take his head off actually. I don't know why, but I want to. We're going to put this back on. I don't usually do this stuff live on camera, but I kind of want you guys to see how this is done. You got to pull the arms out of the socket. Looks like these spacers on this figure are stuck in place, unlike Rude and Reno. This is not going to be easy. Or is it? Is it really that easy? It can't be that easy. Okay, off camera we go. All right, that took a few minutes to get those arms in. You definitely got to play with it, futz with it. As I've said in many of these reviews, these Bring Arts figures require a lot of futzing, a lot of playing around with. And even still there, you can see quite a gap here. I think I might be able to push the arm up even more. I've had to use these spacers, pull them out to kind of cover the gap. So just take your time with it. Like I said, the hands don't come apart back here. So it's like you gotta point the sockets or the joints down in the shoulders and then push up. They go up. The directions show you, but it's just it's not the easiest thing to do. I can see why these figures are ages 15 and up, because there's some of this stuff's a little intricate for a kid to do. So just keep that in mind. But overall, man, I think he looks really cool. I wish I would have gotten pictures before I did this, because I don't want to take this apart now. But this is how I'm going to display him. I think he looks fantastic like this. So there is Tseng. Let's go ahead and see how tall he is. Tseng comes in. He's actually shorter than I thought. He's 5 3/4 inch. 5 3/4 inch. So he's smaller than I thought. Let's go ahead and do some comparisons now. All right, and so this is how it's going to be displayed on my shelf. As you can see here, this is kind of the drawing that Numera did back in the 90s. And all I got to do now is review Elena and put her over there, and I will have my Turks team complete. I always thought Tseng was taller than that, but I guess not. He's not much more taller than Rufus. I thought he was closer to Rude's height, to be honest. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But regardless, as you can see, man, these guys look really cool together. Not as cool as the main party. The main party is just something special. Like, the character design of the main party is so awesome. But still, I think these Turks look great together like this. All right, let's wrap this review up. Okay, so is this figure worth it? Well, if you've watched my other reviews, I will tell you, I think you have to be a really huge Final Fantasy VII fan to get these figures, because I don't think they're worth the cost. They're not cheap. So, for example, I bought this figure off of a place called Mecha Japan, out of Japan, and he was like $95. And shipping ended up being about $10 because I got 3 figures in one shipment. So each figure roughly $10 shipping. So about $105 I paid for this. If you buy this here in America, like at Big Bad Toy Store or Square Enix North, it's $119 plus, of course, shipping. Square Enix North charges about $10 to ship. Of course, BBTS up to $4. So you're saving money by buying from Japan. And that's what I've been doing for quite a while with these Bring Arts and Play Arts figures, because I do want them all because I'm a huge FF7 fan, but I don't want to pay full price. So even with the shipping, it's cheaper to purchase from Japan. And man, I am so stoked to have this guy. I don't have any Tseng merchandise at all. There hasn't been a lot through the years. I don't think there's even a Play Arts Kai Tseng yet. I would love to see that come out. I don't have the Play Arts Turks, and I don't know if I'll get them. But if Tseng came out as a Play Arts, I would definitely get him. He's my favorite Turk, as I said. So for me, totally worth it. He's going to look great standing with the other Turks in my display. I'm going to have one display with the heroes and one display with the villains. And it's going to look great. I cannot wait to get these guys in my shelf. And I'll do maybe a review or just a quick short of them in my shelf once I get it all figured out. But yeah, anyway, this has been Bring Arts, Final Fantasy VII, Tseng. Thanks for watching.